Another eventful day at Arbour Park, probably not in the way we'd hoped. It did start that way, of course, now racing into a 4-0 lead, but unfortunately, though, due to a medical emergency in the crowd, we've had an abandonment this afternoon. I think we need to just first get your thoughts on the abandonment in itself, Scott.
Yeah, obviously, first and foremost, it's the most important thing that the fan is okay, and he's sat in the physio room talking. I believe he was on the phone to his wife. I've just been told that he's a diabetic, so I think he's fallen ill momentarily. There's obviously people crowding around him, so we left the pitch out of respect, I think, more than anything. After that, next thing the ref tells us that the game's been abandoned. Jerry Gill, their manager, has said that for the welfare of his players stopping the game and starting again, they've got hamstring injuries, and apparently it's no good for their hamstrings. So that's the truth, let me tell you that, I'm not lying. I think it's an utter disgrace, I'll be honest with you, because I think he's cheated his way out of the game, and I'll say that, listen, he'll watch this, of course he will, but yeah, there's a way to call a game off. If someone's had a heart attack and they're unconscious in the ground, I'll be the first one to walk off the pitch, let me tell you that. I think that I've got a good heart on me, but when someone's up and about, they're in the physio room, they're in good spirits now, they're on the phone, they're communicating, that's the most important part, and as soon as that's the case, the game should restart. But when you get given an opportunity at 4-2 down, should have been 8, then they'll think, well, let's get the game off and come back on another night, because we're obviously fighting for the same positions in the playoffs. It would have been a massive 3 points for us if we could have seen it through to 90 minutes. But yeah, listen, he's won today. I think today we all go home feeling sick. I can't believe the game's been called off, I'll be honest with you. Christian Eriksen had a heart attack on the pitch and the game was played on. But for the welfare of his players and their hamstrings, I hope they're okay.
So then, have you tried to communicate at all with Jerry about his thoughts about why he's obviously tried to get this game called off?
Do you know what? Like, I get on well with Jerry. I've always had respect for him, like I do with everyone. There's no manager in this league that I don't get on with, but yeah, he's pulled the fast one today, and he'll know that. They lost on Tuesday night. They're probably going to lose today, hopefully, and he's seen an opportunity that he can get the game called off, and I don't think it's for the right reasons. If it's for the right reasons, then absolutely I'll shake hands and walk off the pitch, whether we're winning, losing or drawing, but it's not the right reasons. The guy's absolutely fine. It could have been a 10-minute break and we could have resumed. We have 15 minutes at half time, so their players' hamstrings for 15 minutes at half time, I don't know what they do, but they come out their second half and they looked alright, didn't they? So yeah, maybe a 10-15 minute break would have done them good, but I just can't believe it. I feel sick to the stomach now, because the fan's okay, which is the most important thing, and we could have replayed the game, carried on with the game, but we've not been given the opportunity. The ref said to me that he can't force them to come out of the changing room and restart the game. Even their players are saying we want to carry on. So let's be real about it. There's only one man that's got the job done today, and that's him. And to come back here on a Tuesday night, we'll have to try and recreate what we did today. It's going to be difficult, of course it will. They're a good side. But yeah, we should have been 8 or 9-0 up, I think. We were absolutely brilliant. They couldn't get near us. And they got away with one.
It's a shame as well, because it's put a dampener on what was a pretty big day for the club. It was over 1,400 people attended this game today in help to support Thames Hospice, who we were wearing a special kit for this afternoon. There was some football played this afternoon. It's hard to kind of talk about, of course, because now the match has been abandoned, so it doesn't quite feel like there's a lot to talk about, but I'm sure you were happy with the 70 minutes of football you saw from Slough, because as we've already said, we were comfortably sort of 4-0 up before there was a bit of a response from Bath. So just a few words, I guess, about the game that has happened today.
Yeah, I think for 45 minutes, that's probably the 45 minutes of perfection. I thought we were absolutely brilliant. And like I said, it could have been 7 or 8. I'll have to watch it back, but it felt like on the pitch, I thought we were brilliant. I didn't think they could get near us. I thought the boys were brilliant in terms of what we asked them to do, energy, work rate, quality in the final third. We scored different types of goals. Yeah, and it is bittersweet, of course it is. And if they come back and beat us on a Tuesday night, celebrate it, go on, just do it, okay, because that's ultimately what they want. It could happen, we'll try and not let that happen. But the thing for me is that we've had 1,400 fans here today that have paid their money, a great turnout. We've obviously worn the kit with pride, which was the most important thing today. And then we've got to play them and try and get another 3 points, which could be massive come the end of the season. And if that's what stops us getting in there and they get in there, then yeah, listen, job done for them, I guess.
kind of a question of moral, isn't it? At the end of the day. Just want to ask you then about performances-wise. Obviously, Slavy got 2 goals today. You gave him a start as well. Were you happy to see that from him today, and hopefully use what he's done today in the next fixtures?
He's gutted because they're wiped out now.
Yeah.
So yeah, devastated. Of course they are. The lads in there are gutted because we worked on things in the week. We spoke about things, and when it pays off, it looks great. And I hope I don't come across like I'm being too sulky here, but the most important thing, and I keep stressing it, is the fan is okay. And I said that to Jerry. I said the fan's fine. I said we can go back out there now and play. Like there has been at other games that we've been involved in. I'm sure there was a couple of times where someone else has gone downhill, and the game's been stopped. The right thing to do is resume. And if you give someone an inch, they take a mile. I spoke to the ref. He didn't even consult me. He spoke to Jerry and he spoke to Yella. I think Yella went and got involved in the conversation once Jerry had spoken to him. Yeah, that we probably didn't get there first, if you know what I mean. I think the biggest mistake that we made is possibly going indoors. If we'd have stayed out, but yeah, I'm just gutted at the moment for everyone. Angry, disappointed. I feel like I've been cheated. The lads feel like they've been cheated. But yeah, I hope when we come to play them on Tuesday night, whenever it is, that we can put in a good performance. But I'm angry at the moment.
Yeah, just the last word then on the fact that the performance-wise, as you said, they've come out at half-time, they've stamped their mark in the game, they've got 2 goals back. I did notice there was a couple of players that looked to have been hobbling as well just before the game was stopped, so I was wondering potentially, obviously they had 1 substitution left available, is that what's then kind of triggered in his mind?
He said that as well, Con. So he said, I've only got 1 sub left. It's not my fault. You've got resources that you can go and sign players. They've signed 2 strikers this week, I believe. I don't know where they were today. Yeah, we've had kids on the bench over the past few weeks, but you get on with it. You come across hurdles in football and you have to jump those hurdles, and we find a way to do it on limited resources, but we do it through togetherness and hard work and honesty, and that's one thing that we'll always pride ourselves on here. I think from top to bottom, people above me, myself, the management team, the players, we know what we are. We know we're not the best team in the league, but we'll always give it a go, we'll give it a fight, and I'd like to think if the shoe was on the other foot today that we'd be honest. I think we'd have travelled to Bath if it was down there and it was flipped. I don't see us chucking the game in, I really don't. We've obviously had a week where we've been to the hospice, and I met a guy there at the end for 15 minutes, and he went to a Slough game last year. He said that was the last game he went to, and he's really, really poorly gone. And I learnt a lot from him this week, and I said to the assistant manager before the game today that I went to the hospice and I met this guy, and he absolutely blew my socks off, because he was the happiest man in the room, and he was probably the most poorly man in the room. And I learnt a lot when I thought to myself, do you know what, whatever happens today, in terms of the result, if we win, lose or draw, like, be proud of it. There's worse things in life. But yeah, listen, it's probably perspective. I'll go home tonight, I'll probably be angry for an hour or 2. It's a football match. But ultimately they didn't want to lose it. I felt like they thought they were going to lose it, so they've managed to jump out and cancel the game. But to wear the shirt today for the hospice was extremely proud for us. I think they do a hell of a job down there. We were fortunate, myself and Dan Lincoln, Aid and Graham, to walk around for an hour and 45 minutes, and I think today they would have been proud of us wearing their shirts, and that's the most important thing.
I guess then we can try and look ahead to the next fixture. It's meant to be Tuesday evening away at Taunton. Of course, we're not quite confident in their most recent record of putting games on at the minute. Is there anything you could kind of say potentially looking forward to that game?
Yeah, of course. Listen, emotions are high. They are really high at the moment, and we work so hard to try and get a result, and I think we've worked so hard today to try and get one, and we look like we might have got one. But I think the thing is that when it comes to Tuesday night, we'll be ready to go again. We are a little bit downbeat at the moment, but I spoke to Rob Dre, the tournament manager, a couple of days ago, and he said 90% of the pitch is good, 10%'s not. If that 10%'s not great, then listen, so be it. We'll have to go down there on another Tuesday night, but we'll have to sort of rally the lads, rally the troops, and get on with it. But listen, it's just another hurdle. We've overcome hurdles all season. We've defied the odds, and why can't we keep doing it? We've done it today for 70 odd minutes, but yeah, listen, it is what it is. I think it's taken the gloss off what was a great performance, but most importantly, the fans fine, and we wore the hospice kit today with pride.
Thank you, Scott, and hopefully we'll have a game to go to on Tuesday, and thank you for your thoughts.
Cheers, Con, thank you.